Not until they pried open the coffin lid did everyone discover in complete shock that the renowned philanthropist Old Master Lin, who dominated business circles for years, was actually a woman. But just moments earlier at her funeral, a female college student she once sponsored showed up with a big belly to disrupt her funeral and told everyone that the baby in her womb belonged to Old Master Lin. She even pulled out DNA test results to prove to everyone that the child in her belly was the rightful heir to the Lin family. Everyone was completely stunned after hearing this, all saying Old Master Lin really was vigorous despite his age. But only her adopted daughter Lin Wan knew how ridiculous this whole thing was, because the Old Master Lin in their eyes was actually her mother. It turns out that to inherit the family business, her mother had spent all these years disguised as a man. This masquerade lasted over 20 years. Besides her adopted daughter Lin Wan, who knew the secret all these years, no one else had ever found out. Who would have thought that right after she passed away, a female college student she once helped financially would show up pregnant to slander her mother?
我对不？可是你们林家的嫡长，他之前承诺要给我车子、房子，这些我现在都不要。我有了一父子，我现在只要分家产。
In order to protect her mother's secret, Lin Wan chose not to reveal the truth. Instead, she called for security, ready to have this scheming woman dragged out. But at that moment, her fiancé arrived and stopped her. Lin Wan thought her fiancé would take her side, but the next second, he produced photos of the scheming woman with her mother and claimed he could prove that this woman was Old Master Lin's lover. The woman could tell at a glance that these photos were completely fake, because the location where these photos were taken was right in her own home. But then the scheming woman grabbed the scumbag, claiming these photos were taken by her fiancé. So how could they be fake? What Lin Wan never expected was that her own fiancé had already been scheming with this woman. Even the baby in the woman's belly was his. They were using the child to steal her mother's inheritance. Then the scumbag declared that as an adopted daughter she had no inheritance rights, while the scheming woman took the opportunity to shout that the child in her belly was the true heir to the Lin family. She then pulled out a safety pendant, falsely claiming it was given to her by Old Master Lin as a token before he died. The woman immediately recognized this safety pendant as something her mother had carved by hand and given to her as a child. But how did it end up in the scheming woman's hands? She immediately realized that the scumbag must have stolen it. Afraid that their lies would be exposed, the scumbag rushed forward and pushed the woman to the ground, then stirred up the crowd and media present to slander Old Master Lin as a predator who targeted female college students. The media wasn't about to miss such explosive news, instantly turning the entire funeral hall into complete chaos. Even her mother's portrait fell to the ground. Seeing how they were bullying her like this, the woman got up ready to open the coffin and reveal the truth.